I want to go through what process mapping looks like in marketing. Today, I'm just going to show you a very quick one, high level of what it looks like to do a customer newsletter. I know several companies do this about once a month, and this may not be your specific process, but I'm going to show you by mapping it out and talking about it with other people that are part of the process. You can actually see a lot of efficiencies going forward. So what we see here is just a very simple diagram of where you're starting. A lot of times teams define the goals and create the theme for the newsletter. If you're doing this every month, you're doing this once a month. And then from the defining goals and create things, a lot of times people need to then go and get approval for the goals and the theme. So that's what you have here. If the theme and goals are not approved, it may actually kill the newsletter project. Or you're going, hey, yeah, it looks great. Maybe we tweak a couple of goals, or maybe we tweak the theme, and then you move forward. The next thing is then you're going to solicit stories from team members that are in the know of those stories. And then you're going to do some copywriting to get that into a newsletter format. And then you're going to get that copywriting approved by someone else in the firm to say, yes, this is good. The customer's not going to have any issues with us sharing their story. And but you can also go through several rounds of edits for that. And then from there, you may go into design. So you're actually designing an electronic newsletter. And then you're going to send that test email. If the test email was successful, then you're going to send it. If not, you may have to tweak the design some. And then you're going to send the newsletter, and then you're going to evaluate the results. So that is a very simplistic process map of a customer newsletter. You may be going, Julie, that is way too simple. So I added in this level of detail of actually how much time it takes to put into this whole process. Again, if you're doing a customer newsletter and it's frustrating to you of how long it's taking, I would encourage you to do this type of process mapping and then share it with those that are actually part of this process to figure out, well, where can we shave off some time? Because right now what I'm showing you is 26 days. And if you're sending out a newsletter every month, that's almost an entire month. And then you got to start all over again for the following month. So, and again, the editing, the copywriting may take longer. The approval process may be shorter, may take longer. It all depends on whoever's approving it and their schedule and their how quickly they can get the feedback to you. The design may take longer, it may take shorter. So this is kind of an average of what a lot of firms do for their customer newsletter. Then if we go into this is where I'm saying you can improve it. So jump back real quick where I had, hey, you're going to define goals and create a theme every month, and then those goals and themes are going to be approved. What I'm saying is this should be part of your annual strategic plan in marketing. So you're going to define the goals and create the theme one time. So you're already going to have a 12-month calendar mapped out for your customer newsletter. And then I have in here, instead of for soliciting stories, I have review stories. So again, encouraging team members to put as much project data into a CRM. What I did previously at companies is I started just tracking customer stories throughout the month. So I had it kind of a list to work from, and I wasn't having to go back or try to find someone at the last minute to solicit those stories. So this is really about review the stories. And then also, if you're aware of what those stories are before you even start working on the newsletter, then you can actually speed up your copywriting time. And also, once those stories come in, you can actually write the copy for it right then and there. You don't have to wait for the newsletter. And again, getting those people that are part of this process that are going to be doing the approval, getting them on board to understand that if they delay getting the newsletter out, it actually starts to dogpile onto everything else that marketing needs to get done. So getting them on board, making sure that their schedule allows for a thorough review. And then again, I think the design can be done a lot faster, especially if you already know what stories are going to be in there. You already know what the theme is going to be. You probably already have a formula set up for your customer newsletter. So the design will actually speed up. Towards the end, I have down here, send newsletter. So a lot of times companies only send the newsletter once. And you may send it at 7 a.m. in the morning, so it hits a prospect's inbox as soon as possible. However, not everyone treats their inbox the same. And so this is something that I've learned from well-respected marketing experts of send the newsletter like you usually would, and then you're going to segment that group of people that didn't open your newsletter, and you're going to send it again in 2 days at a different time slot. So if you sent your newsletter at 7 a.m. on, say, a Tuesday, then you're going to send that segmented list that didn't open up your newsletter. You may send it at 3 p.m. on Thursday. So that way, if people like to check their inbox later in the day, you get those people that are looking at that. You actually get a higher open rate and click rate for people that want to see the details about your company, maybe some case studies. And then I also put in here evaluating the results is shortened. Doesn't mean that you're going to do less evaluation, but because you've already done an evaluation of who has opened it from that first send and resent it to the second send, you actually get better data and it helps you improve your newsletters going forward. So that's a very simple way of how do you improve, say, from a 26-day newsletter cycle to now we're at 13 days. You've cut it in half, and you can probably even do it faster than that if you already have the plan in place for your theme, your goals, the stories that you're going to put in there. You have a game plan of how you're going to send it out so you get it in front of more eyeballs. And this is a very simple way to do process mapping for one aspect that marketing is in charge of.